Daylight, my MVVs, welcome. Rumor making the rounds on social media right now is that the Ooni of Ife has slammed Olori Tobi big time for sending cooks to the palace without consulting him. Last week we had a gist that was making the rounds on social media that the Ooni of Ife's cook and the chief cook, they just disappeared from palace, and they had to summon them to spell out why they left the palace without the authorization of the Ooni of Ife, and they came back and attributed everything to some and traditional water that was meant to be used to cook for the Ooni of Ife, and that the Oloris wanted them to stop using that water to cook for the Ooni of Ife, and they knew that would be detrimental to the monarch, and that was why they couldn't, because they have no right to question the Oloris, and they decided that they were going to live in peace. Now, these are all rumored information for those of you who come to my comment section. Do not forget that these are all alleged information, okay? And so now, with that information that was making rounds on social media, they said the cooks were asked not to, the ones who came back and the ones who refused to come back even when they were summoned were asked not to return anymore. And so they were going to begin to make arrangements. They said that Queen Naomi was supposed to handle the arrangement with the cook of the Ooni of Ife, because while she was in the palace, they said that she was the one who was employing cooks for the Ooni of Ife. So this time, with everything that happened, then now Ooni of Ife now mandated her to employ cooks for the Ooni of Ife. So while she was making arrangements, sorry about that sound, my messages were coming through. We heard that Olori Tobi had gone to make arrangement for some cooks to come and stay in the palace. That there were actually 3 cooks that she made arrangement to bring to the palace. And you're all aware right now from the information that we are hearing that Olori Tobi is not supposed to see Ooni of Ife just because of the babies. The truth remains that they said traditionally she is not supposed to see the Ooni of Ife until like 6 months. Some people actually saying 3 months, okay? So that information, I'm not even sure of it as well, but I do know that for sure a Yoruba Oba is not supposed to see the new kids when they give birth to them because of the hair that, they bring from the womb, okay? So right now they say she went to go and make arrangement for these cooks and send them to the palace to come and resume work, which is not her duty. If things had been the way it used to be, shortly after the Ooni of Ife got married to the wives, Miriam was supposed to be the one who makes that arrangement, because until this reconciliation thing started, Miriam was the most senior wife and all of that. But we can see evidently that Miriam is not in the palace. She's coming and going. There's this serious battles that's been going on from what we are hearing between her and the Ooni of Ife and the royal family and all of that. That is the information that is making rounds on social media. And Olori Tobi is said to have gone to make this arrangement without the consent of the Ooni of Ife. And they said when the people came to the palace, they came with their bags and everything, and they moved straight into the cook quarters, okay? And Ooni of Ife was not around. He had traveled to Germany, a very short trip to Germany. And they said when he came back, he now found out that these people were there. They had informed him. The first thing he did was to summon them. And when they came to him, he asked them to leave the palace immediately. Like they should move their things and leave the palace with immediate effect. And they were very, very shocked because they thought that everything had happened with the consent of the Ooni of Ife. They were not expecting this to have happened. They said that some of these people started crying because learning that kind of job happens to be a big thing. But then again, for people to be cooking for a great monarch like the Ooni of Ife, they said they would take some traditional stuff. They have to go through some traditional cleansing and all of that. It's not something that one wife will just sit back and decide. It has to come from a woman that, of course, is it has to be something that is in tune between the wife to the Ooni of Ife and the Ooni of Ife himself, and then the people will agree to subject themselves to the traditional rites and cleansing and all of that. They must know what to do and what not to do, because as the Ooni of Ife is, there are a lot of things that they said he doesn't eat, like he does not eat, and that is the reason why you see that he doesn't eat. You can't find him eating in events. I know that in some videos I have seen that they say Oni was eating in an event, but I haven't set my eyes on that video before. I don't know if you have seen it, and if at all there is a video like that, it's possible that they knew he was coming and they knew exactly what to prepare for him. And so right now, this is a problem. This is what is going on. This is what we are seeing. They said that when Oni came, Oni had to send these people out of the palace. Then they said that he turned to Olori Tobi, allegedly, as it is rumored, that he told Tobi that Tobi is beginning to push him too far, that Tobi is beginning to take too much, that he does not know what is giving Tobi this kind of confidence to think that you will cross boundaries that you're not supposed to cross, make decisions that you're not supposed to make. You know, these things are not in your hands. These things are bigger than you in the first place. It's not your duty to pick a cook for the monarch, okay? That these are traditional things to do. Like I said earlier, they said that even if somebody is going to do this, even if one of the wives will do this, it will come between the wife and the Ooni of Ife. There must be some form of agreement. They must agree on what they want and how they want it, and also make these people who will be brought in to know that they will subject themselves to some kind of rituals. Okay, it's not everybody that cooks for the Ooni of Ife, and they need to be properly trained on what Oni eats and the things that he does not eat, because he forbids a lot of things. Of course, it's expected as a traditional king. There are things that he is not supposed to eat. There are things that he's not supposed to say. They say it's a whole lot for the Oni of Ife, and you just feel like you can pick your own people and put them in the palace. They said that was how these people were driven out of the palace, and Oni of Ife was very, very upset. And you do know that right now the palace is just the way it is. The woman that was supposed to be the most senior wife, Olori Mariam, is not even there. And you know, a lot of them are not there. As we speak right now, Ashley is not even in the palace. Dr. Elizabeth is not even in the palace. Olori Mariam is not even in the palace. So it's only Runke and Timitokwe that are there in the palace. Tobi is not even in the palace. Tobi is still in her Ikoyi home with her children. And so it's a whole lot that is going on right now in the palace. And they say Ooni of Ife is telling Tobi that Tobi should not push him. I'm going to bring you more update. I appreciate you so much. Thank you.